Hi, my name is Faruk and these are the brand new iPhones. iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Plus, iPhone 16 Pro, and iPhone 16 Pro Max. The regular series have A18, the Pro series have A18 Pro chip in it. And let me show you how fast they are. This is LumaFusion, a video editing program. And in this program, we have a 9GB MP4 video file. And I'm going to export this in the highest bitrate possible and in H.265 compression.
1, 2, 3.
iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus finishes this task in 14 minutes and 10 seconds, and iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max finishes it in 12 minutes and 55-ish seconds. But how about iPhone 16?
1, 2, 3.
iPhone 16 finishes this task in 12 minutes and 59 seconds, which is almost as fast as iPhone 15 Pro. But iPhone 16 Pro series finishes this task in 6 minutes and 50 seconds. 6 minutes and 50 seconds. When it comes to Geekbench, in multi-core score, iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro series are ahead of all of iPhone 15. So of course there are no surprises in single-core scores as well. Now let's take a look at the GPU scores for funsies. Nope. No surprises there as well. Interestingly, in low power mode, iPhone 16 Pro series scores lower, which tells me these devices will last even longer in this mode. And here they are. iPhone 16 series comes in this nicely designed boxes. Inside the boxes we're greeted with iPhone itself, USB-C to USB-C cable, some papers, and that's pretty much it. No sticker, no nothing. This year I really like the colors of the iPhones. I think all of them look gorgeous, but there's something about the white iPhone 16, you have to see it for yourself in person. It looks magnificent. The regular iPhone 16 now has the action button. The action button is very useful. When I was in Japan, I was using it for translation. The Pro series is a little bigger. iPhone 15 Pro, iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, iPhone 16 Pro Max, as you can see, they're a little bit bigger. But when it comes to bezels, now the bezels are a little thinner. Also, these devices can now go down to 1 nit brightness, which is fantastic when you're in a movie or when you're in bed and you don't want to wake the person next to you up with your bright screen. As you can see, it went down to 1.7 lux. And it is at 3.2, 3.4 lux. Also, the regular iPhone 16 series got this 1 nit feature. But iPhone 16 series is still 60 Hz, and I wish it was a little higher because now we have ray tracing, and when it comes to games, the games look great. Now let's talk about camera control. Camera control is this button here, but it does so much more than what a button does. When you rest your finger on it, this notch appears. Does anyone remember the notch from iPhone series? When you're in the camera app, a light press without making it click, you can launch the camera control. When you double light press, you go to the options. When you light press once, you go to the adjustments. And you can make the adjustments simply by sliding your finger. Camera control is sensitive, but I wish it was more sensitive for easier, finer adjustments. Then, when you're happy with the setting, you can click on the camera control and take a photo. Or hold the button down to record a video while you're in photo mode. Because camera control does a lot of things, probably that's why it takes a little time to get used to it. I wish it was down here, especially if you're recording a video, you are blocking the microphone with your palm to reach to camera control. So that's one of the issues I have, which makes you want to hold it this way. But when you hold it that way, you're blocking the screen a little bit. Then you may want to hold it. So in video mode, I prefer the regular control. So also it's easier to zoom in and out with the video. You have all this estate. But in photo mode, yeah, it works. When it comes to accidental touches, they think about it. So let's say this is in our pocket. Let's wait for it to shut down. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't launch. So in your pocket, you're not gonna accidentally turn on the camera and then have a pocket warmer. And when it's in sleeping mode, as you're grabbing the phone, if you accidentally click it, it's not gonna launch, but after the second one, it's gonna launch the camera. But if the phone is up like this and when you click on it, yeah, it launches the camera. So the accidental touch prevention is very nicely done. It works great when the phone is in a case as well. I had no difference in the user experience whether the phone is in a case or not. But I heard an argument that says, what if you're left-handed? What if you're left-handed? Then the camera control is useless. Interesting. Well, yeah. Talking about cases, as you may have realized, there's no longer fine woven cases. Fine woven is my favorite case of all time. And I will die on that hill. I made a couple of videos about how durable and cleanable and nice fine woven is, but it's gone. I'm not talking about peeling. I keep saying that. The peeling is different. But the regular scratches, the dirt and all, it was just one simple wash away. Let's not talk about it. But now iPhones come either with the clear case or it comes with the silicone case. Unfortunately, my hand feels like it's burning when I hold silicone cases. So I found these Beats cases, which is interesting, but it's not my cup of tea. So I think I'm gonna return this and maybe I'll join the no case gang. I was curious to see if the MagSafe is different. As far as I can see, the iPhone 16 series now have the MagSafe just like iPhone 16 Pro series, but up here the magnets are a little different. Now you can charge your iPhone 16 series up to 25 watt with the new MagSafe charger, not the old one. You need the new one with the braided cable, and now it comes in 2 meters as well. I tested this. I was able to see speeds. I was able to see up to 22 watts. And if you're wondering if you can charge your older iPhone with the new MagSafe up to these speeds, no, you can't. And if you're wondering if you can use your old MagSafe charger and charge iPhone 16 series up to 25 watts, no, you can't. So you need the new phones with the new charger to get that 25 watt charging speed. Of course, you need a 30 watt or higher charging brick as well. Which brings us to battery life. It is really difficult to tell you something specific when it comes to battery life because when these review units arrived, I was testing them constantly, so I wasn't using them regularly. But whenever I get the review units and I do my tests, all of the phones needs charging a lot because I try video editing, I do camera tests. These guys held up really well, which tells me they're gonna be fantastic when it comes to battery life, especially Pro Max and Pro. They were fantastic. I did so many things and I was thinking there's probably 8%, 10% battery life left. No, it was above 50% and I've never seen anything like that. So I cannot tell you what happens on the real life use case until I install my own backup and use it, but they seem very promising. The new iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max has 4K 120 frames per second video recording capability on their main cameras, which is something I've been waiting for a really long time. I really wanted this feature on these devices and now they're here. And I'm really excited about it, but it made me think. One of my favorite phones, Sony Xperia, can record in 4K 120 frames per second as well. Properly record in 4K 120 frames per second as well. But it overheats in 20 minutes. And when I say it overheats in 20 minutes, when the phone is off, you turn it on. Before anything even gets the chance to warm up in the phone, it overheats and shuts down in 20 minutes. So maximum 4K 120 you get out of that device is 20 minutes. So I was curious what was going to happen with these devices, and I tested it with iPhone 16 Pro. I started recording 4K 120 frames per second video, and I was expecting 30-35 minutes of recording before it overheats. I came back to find that it recorded for an hour without overheating, which is fantastic news. And the only reason I stopped recording is because it was running out of battery. So I charged iPhone 16 Pro Max to 100% and I started recording 4K 120 frames per second with iPhone 16 Pro Max. It recorded for 3 hours and 15 minutes and it stopped recording because it ran out of battery. I mean, call a camera store and tell them you want a camera that can record on 4K 120 frames per second video more than 3 hours and 15 minutes on battery without overheating, no crop and no rolling shutter. they'll probably laugh and hang up. This year, the cameras on the non-Pro series, the regular iPhone 16 series, got pretty sweet updates as well. First of all, the 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera now has autofocus. Now you can get really close to things and get a macro photo, which is a lot of fun. The main camera is 48 megapixel. The photo quality seems to be really good. The video quality seems to be really good. It is what you expect from an iPhone. However, the photographic styles makes things a lot more interesting and fun. I've been using it more than I thought I would because I usually shoot in RAW and edit my photos afterwards the way I want it. But it makes things really easy, and the photographic styles are set up so nicely that it can give you one of the looks you want, and you can just take the photo that way. And the best part about this is that it is not permanent. You can change that after you take the photo, or you can just take the photo and apply these effects afterwards. Now in video mode, there is a pause button on iPhone 16 series, not iPhone 15 series, but on iPhone 16 series. And now with its new lens design, you can take spatial videos and spatial photos, which is one of my favorite things to watch when I'm wearing my Apple Vision Pro. I shot a lot of special videos when I was in Tokyo, Japan, and it just takes you back there. It is really good. All of these devices have a feature called spatial audio. It uses 4 microphones and records everything together. As you can see, we are in this empty apartment and there's crazy echo in here. Echo?
Echo.
Hey! It's wonderful. And my guest today is a singer-songwriter, musician, firm handshaker, Joe Nagel. And what I'm trying to do first is, as she's talking, I'm gonna speak over her, but I'm behind the phone. And we're gonna see if I can cut out my own voice and have her voice in the interview. So would you introduce yourself to us, please?
Hi, my name is Joe Nagel. I'm an LA-based singer-songwriter. I have played in many bands, and I have music out under my name as well, under Joe Nagel. I have original music, I have covers.
Nice.
I'm everywhere, all over the internet under Joe Nagel, Jonehle.
Now we're gonna test and see how we can deal with the echo when she sings a song.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. All through my city, all through my home. We're flying up my ceiling when we're in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet, feel that hot blood in my body when it rocks. Ooh.
I hope this feature comes to Final Cut Pro where I can do whatever I want with this 4-channel audio. It's gonna be great if I can do that. Now let's talk about the cameras on iPhone 16 Pro Max. The main camera has a brand new 48 megapixel quad Bayer sensor, and the ultra wide angle camera has a 48 megapixel sensor. Whenever there is a bigger sensor, I always get worried about the minimum focus distance, and I spent a lot of time trying to calculate the minimum focus distance. It seems like they're all same as iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max series, but the difference is the ultra wide angle camera, because it is 48 megapixel, has a little bit more minimum focus distance. I don't think you can tell the difference unless you compare it. It is 0.4 centimeter. It's only 4 millimeters. But because you're shooting in 48 megapixel, if you like to, you can zoom in and it wouldn't matter. Now, iPhone 16 Pro has the 5x zoom tetra prism camera, which makes me really happy because when it comes to choosing between these devices, all that matters is the battery life the size and the weight. The rest of the devices are basically the same. In case you're wondering, yes, when you're recording in ProRes to an external drive, you can record in 4K 120 frames per second as well. And you can zoom in 4K 120 frames per second. And I think up to 2x, it is a lossless zoom. And when you go to 3x, it is a digital zoom. But I think the first 1 to 2x, the zoom happens on the sensor. When it comes to photos on iPhone 16 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro Max, under the camera settings, under ProRAW format, now you're gonna see JPEG XL lossless and JPEG XL lossy. This is a new compression method. So for example, a 48 megapixel photo takes 75 megabytes of space. With the JPEG XL lossless, it's gonna take 48 megabytes of space. And on JPEG XL lossy, it's gonna take 20 megabytes of space, which means you're gonna have a lot more space to work with raw photos where it stores a lot of information when it comes to editing these photos. This is why we shoot in RAW. All the cameras on iPhone 16 Pro series and the main camera, wide angle camera, the Fusion camera on iPhone 16 series has anti-reflective coating. I did a test to compare these. I didn't see that much of a difference, but I'm happy that we are finally acknowledging that we need anti-reflective coating. In case you're wondering, the Final Cut camera app on these devices, they work, but it is not updated for iPhone 16 series. So when you switch to 120 frames per second, there's a little bit of problems. I think it is going to be fixed with an update very soon. Now, of course, these devices come with iOS 18, and iOS 18 and iPhone 16, they go together really well. They're basically built for each other. Other than that, having Wi-Fi 7 on these devices is great. It's going to be very useful when it comes to wirelessly transferring video files from a camera to these devices. In the end, I really like what Apple did with iPhone 16 series. They didn't separate iPhone 16 with iPhone 16 Pro series that much. But as always, what matters is what you think. What do you think about iPhone 16 series? What do you think about iOS 18? What do you think about this release? Let me know in the comment section below. And until I see you the next time, take really good care of yourselves and hoşça kalın.